Finally, Oreos made gluten-free Oreos. To celebrate, I'm sharing a gluten-free Oreos cake recipe, Oreo cookie Swiss meringue buttercream recipe, and step-by-step for how to decorate this 5-inch cake. Hello you, it's me, Rox of Rockstar Bakes. If you are new here, my passion is helping you make sweet treats, because adults need cute and sweet things too. I went to Safeway store and found gluten-free Oreos. Gluten-free. These taste identical. Cake making first. Let's get into it. I make my own buttermilk and set aside. I add 1.5 teaspoons of white vinegar to 3/4 cup of milk, regular or plant-based. Stir. You will feel the friction from the curdling. All recipe details will be linked below. Make sure everything is room temperature and your oven is preheated to 335 degrees Fahrenheit, 168 degrees Celsius. Line 3 5-inch cake pans with parchment and don't grease the sides. When the cake bakes, it crawls up the sides and gets some height. This is a one bowl recipe, so you can just add things as you go along. Sift your gluten-free flour. Almond flour. I add almond flour so we don't get a rubbery batter, as a lot of gluten-free flours tend to be. Cocoa powder. Black cocoa. I wanted to share a side-by-side of a classic cocoa powder versus a black cocoa powder. Super dark, super rich black cocoa makes the darkest chocolate cake or cookies you've ever seen. Very strong. Use as an accent in combination with natural or Dutch processed cocoa. Baking powder, baking soda, and salt. Then add the sugars into this bowl. Now mix everything together. Add a paddle attachment to your mixer. Once the dry ingredients and sugars are all incorporated, add dairy-free butter. Pulse on KitchenAid stir until it looks like wet sand. This can get a little messy. Add your room temperature eggs one at a time, mixing on low KitchenAid stir. I give each eggs about a 20-second stir. The vanilla added in last. Occasionally scrape down the sides. Then on KitchenAid stir, slowly add in the room temperature coffee. And buttermilk. Here's the mixture looking so great. Time to distribute. Distribute the batter across 3 5-inch cake pans and use a knife or angled spatula to pull the batter to the sides. This helps to evenly distribute the batter. Then bang the cake pans to release any extra large air bubbles and fill in the edges. Bake for 33 to 36 minutes in the preheated 335 degrees Fahrenheit oven. Check if it's done with a toothpick or skewer. The toothpick won't come out entirely clean. It's just the nature of gluten-free baking. I never get questions on this, but I realize I've never shared this either. I release my cakes with an angled spatula. Time to make the Oreo Swiss meringue buttercream. Measure out the egg whites and granulated sugar in a grease-free, heat-proof bowl. Boil an inch of water and then place the heat-proof bowl over it to cook. I pre-stirred the mixture. Should be about medium heat. Constantly stir the mixture with a grease-free whisk until there are no more granules. This takes about 5 minutes. You'll start to see bubbles around the edges and the mixture gets more opaque. That's when it's time to test and see if it's done. I use my fingers to see if there are any granules of sugar in the mixture. When it's ready, I transfer to mixing bowl. This stops the cooking. Then whisk on medium-high until there are stiff peaks. This takes about 10 to 15 minutes. This can vary based on time of year. Feel the side of the stand mixer. Is it cool? Perfect. Ready for the next phase. Switch to a paddle attachment. Time to add in the room temperature butter chunks. The butter is soft but not liquid. It starts to look curdled or even watery, but keep going. You can do this. I have another Swiss meringue buttercream only video that has more details, tips, and tricks if it's your first time making Swiss meringue buttercream. Today I've shared the quick version. Let's make it Oreo. Take 1.5 cups of finished Swiss meringue buttercream. Place it in a bowl and set aside. The main difference between these two cookies, besides the obvious, is that gluten-free is written on it. Gluten-free. Remove the frosting from inside the Oreos. If you've been stressed recently, I feel you. This is a relaxing project that's about to get even more fun. Crush the Oreos in a Ziploc bag with a rolling pin. See, feel better? Bang, bang, bang. I sifted crumbs and added the finer pieces into the frosting. Fold gently. What I learned in this project is that it'll continue to mix as you're distributing it to the cake. Yeah, yes, how good does this look? Now let's assemble. I adhere my cooled cake layer to a cake board with buttercream. I add some filling with a scooper and evenly distribute using an angled spatula. I just try to get it as even as possible. Build a buttercream dam, a buttercream border to hold the bigger Oreo chunks that we're about to add. And fill it with some gluten-free Oreos. I took that Oreo filling from earlier, then microwave in 30-second increments, stirring in between until it was liquid. Drizzle. Mmm. Top with a second cake layer. Tip, make sure to press gently between each cake layer to ensure the cake is secure and won't slip. I even level to make sure it's level. And repeat building a buttercream dam and fill with some Oreo buttercream. And repeat. You don't see it here, but I kneel and check how even the cake is looking from the sides as well. Then place in the refrigerator for 15 to 30 minutes to help the buttercream firm. This is the good stuff. Crumb coat the cake. This is a thin layer of frosting that catches the loose crumbs and helps keep in moisture. Then frost the cake with the Oreo SMVC. I did explore a second cake during this process that uses bigger pieces of Oreo. I thought this said more cookies and cream than screamed Oreo cake. But let me know what you think. Which do you like better in the comments? Use a piping tip to mark where the buttercream crown is going to go. It doesn't have to be exact, just to guide. Then I place the Oreos in between, holding them up with buttercream. It's still soft, so it's easy to move around. Then take a 1M tip and pipe the decoration on top of the cake. Make any adjustments. This is so optional, but I think it would be so nice at this point to sprinkle the top of the cake with jimmies, like rainbow jimmies, to give it more of a birthday vibe. Then place in the fridge for 15 to 30 minutes to help the buttercream firm. The cake is fresh for 3 days and can be kept in the fridge. Allow it to get to room temperature before serving for best flavor. Happy birthday to everyone who loves Oreos. Whoa-OMG, gluten-free Oreo birthday cake success. I'm really proud to share this cake with you. Smells super good, tastes super good. I really like the cream filling that's added in there too. Yummy. Once you've sliced the cake, if you place plastic wrap where the slice is removed, it keeps the cake fresher and prevents drying. I highly recommend this. Please hit that bell and like notification to get the latest videos. It really helps me to make more videos that you're gonna love. Bing! My goal this year is to get to 1 per week. Coming up is a cake idea playlist that I am always adding videos to. Thanks for watching. Bye. Really appreciate you joining me. Take care. Check out these flowers my partner got me for Valentine's Day. So pretty. They smell really good. It's like Oreo plus rose scent. Maybe that's their next flavor.